見ろ敵だ敵襲来だ
There is a question that bothers every human on Earth. What were the challenging circumstances and the prevailing mood on the eve of one of the most controversial and consequential decisions in human history, the use of the atomic bomb? Before the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Americans were facing a formidable and determined adversary in Japan during World War II. The war in the Pacific had been raging for years, with both sides engaged in intense battles across vast stretches of ocean and land. The Japanese forces had displayed unwavering resilience and were skilled in conducting guerrilla warfare, making them a formidable opponent for the United States and its allies. As the conflict dragged on, the Allies faced mounting casualties and the uncertainty of how to bring about Japan's surrender. And here comes the thrilling story behind the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hello, fellow history enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we embark on a thrilling journey into one of the most contentious and tragic events of the 20th century, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. As we dive deep into this dark chapter of history, prepare to be captivated by questions that have puzzled generations. How did it all unfold? Why were these cities targeted? Let's step back in time and explore the gripping tale of these fateful events. Before we continue, make sure you subscribe to the Macula, because the Macula is a part of your eye which clears your vision to see the world, whether it's the past or future, you want to look into. Picture this, it's August 6, 1945, and the world is at war. The United States is embroiled in a fierce conflict with Japan during World War II. In a highly secretive operation codenamed Manhattan Project, American scientists had been developing a new weapon with unimaginable power. The development of the atomic bomb was shrouded in secrecy, making it one of the most thrilling and mysterious projects of its time. As we delve into the heart of this gripping narrative, we must ask ourselves the question that has haunted historians for decades: why did the United States choose to drop the atomic bombs on these two Japanese cities, causing massive devastation and loss of life? To understand the decision-making process, we must consider the geopolitical context of the era. The war had been raging for years, with Japan showing no signs of surrender. President Harry S. Truman faced a difficult choice: continue the brutal and costly conventional war, or deploy the atomic bomb as a potentially decisive, albeit controversial, option. Enter the enigmatic figure of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the brilliant physicist and one of the leading minds behind the Manhattan Project. Oppenheimer's involvement adds a thrilling layer to the story, as he grappled with the moral implications of his creation. If you want us to make a detailed video about life of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his connections with creation of atomic bomb, do tell us in comments section. And how can I forget to mention movie, Oppenheimer, recently released on July 21, 2023. If you haven't watched the Oppenheimer movie yet, directed by Christopher Nolan, casting one and only legend of acting Cillian Murphy, who made Peaky Blinders, a gem of TV shows. So, grab your tickets, it's still on screen. Let's come back to the topic. As we delve deeper into the events leading up to the bombings, a chilling question arises: were there any alternatives to the use of the atomic bomb? Some historians argue that Japan was already on the brink of surrender, raising doubts about the necessity of such a devastating action. On August 6, 1945, the world changed forever when the Enola Gay, a B-29 Superfortress bomber, dropped Little Boy on the unsuspecting city of Hiroshima. The sight of a mushroom cloud rising ominously over the city is etched into the annals of history, a thrilling but horrifying moment that left the world in shock. The aftermath of the Hiroshima bombing was nothing short of apocalyptic. The city lay in ruins, and tens of thousands of lives were lost in an instant. The world watched in disbelief, raising questions about the devastating power of the atomic bomb. As the world reeled from the shock of Hiroshima, another dreadful day loomed on the horizon. On August 9, 1945, the United States dropped Fat Man on Nagasaki, further escalating the horror and leaving us to question whether such actions were justifiable. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki marked the first and only use of nuclear weapons in warfare, leaving us with haunting queries: did the atomic bombings ultimately hasten the end of the war, or could there have been a different path to peace? While some argue that the bombings were necessary to save lives by forcing Japan's surrender, others believe that it set a dangerous precedent, ushering in the era of nuclear proliferation and raising the stakes in international conflicts. As we examine the aftermath of the bombings, we must confront the harrowing question of the human cost. The immediate and long-term effects of radiation exposure inflicted suffering on survivors and generations to come, making us ponder the ethical implications of using such a destructive weapon. Today, the ruins of Hiroshima and Nagasaki stand as haunting reminders of the horrors of war and the grave responsibility humankind bears when wielding such potent weapons. In the aftermath of World War II, global powers came together to grapple with the complexities of nuclear weapons, leading to the formation of the United Nations and the quest for international cooperation. Still, questions about disarmament and arms control persist to this day. The legacy of the atomic bombings transcends time, shaping the modern world and influencing international relations, arms control agreements, and discussions on the ethics of warfare. As we bring this thrilling video to a close, let us remember the importance of seeking answers to these gripping questions. Reflecting on the past allows us to better navigate the challenges of the present and build a safer and more peaceful future. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki continue to serve as poignant reminders of humanity's capacity for both creation and destruction. As we move forward, let us remember the lessons learned and strive to avoid the horrors of war and the use of nuclear weapons. Through the lens of history, we discover the intricacies of human decision-making and the consequences of choices made during times of conflict. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki present an ever-pressing question: how can we ensure that such catastrophic events never occur again? Our exploration of this thrilling topic does not end here. The story of Hiroshima and Nagasaki continues to be studied and debated by historians and policymakers, shaping our understanding of warfare and the pursuit of peace. In the years following the bombings, Japan underwent a process of rebuilding and reconciliation. The devastation left by the atomic bombs was not forgotten, and the scars on the nation's psyche persisted for generations. However, amidst the pain and suffering, a sense of resilience emerged as Japan rose from the ashes and rebuilt its cities, including Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The bombings also had a profound impact on international relations, prompting a new era of nuclear arms control and disarmament negotiations. The fear of nuclear annihilation during the Cold War led to efforts to prevent the further proliferation of nuclear weapons and establish mechanisms for arms reduction and verification. While the use of the atomic bomb remains a highly debated topic, it serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of war and the importance of seeking peaceful solutions to conflicts. The quest for understanding the motivations behind the bombings drives us to re-evaluate our actions and strive for a more just and compassionate world. Today, the Peace Memorial Parks in Hiroshima and Nagasaki stand as solemn reminders of the past, advocating for peace and nuclear disarmament. Visitors from around the world come to pay their respects and reflect on the tragedies of the past, inspiring a collective commitment to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, the story of Hiroshima and Nagasaki implores us to question the ethical implications of technological advancements and military actions. It challenges us to consider the profound responsibilities that come with wielding great power and to always strive for diplomatic solutions to conflicts. So, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki continue to haunt us with unanswered questions, forcing us to confront the complexities of human nature and the choices made during times of crisis. As we engage with this thrilling history, let us remember the immense human cost and the importance of preserving peace and understanding among nations. Through knowledge and compassion, we can shape a future free from the horrors of nuclear warfare and build a world where dialogue and diplomacy prevail over destruction. Thank you for joining us on this gripping journey through the events and questions surrounding the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling explorations into history's most captivating enigmas. Let us never forget the lessons of the past and continue to seek the truth as we navigate the complexities of our world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and may we all contribute to a brighter, more peaceful future for generations to come.